looking at Ferris State, the big news out of Michigan, out of D2, out of college football, Ferris State head coach Tony Annese is suspended for a future playoff game after cigar celebration. That is the bizarre headline from Bleacher Report. We saw it first reported on footballscoop.com. Shout out to them. We tweeted it out on our D1 Rejects Twitter. Follow us there if you don't already. But the basic story goes, after, I guess I'll give you a little bit of context. Ferris State is the back-to-back Division II defending national champions. Both of those games are played at McKinney ISD Stadium down in Texas, which I believe is a high school stadium, like a joint high school stadium. Yep. Yes. So Texas high schools play there. Therefore, I say that because it is a tobacco-free zone, and that becomes important here. After their first of these 2 national championship wins, I believe a few of the players brought out cigars, which if you've seen anything of Joe Burrow or even Stetson Bennett had one from this last year, pretty common after winning a championship, you're going to roll out the cigars, right? Now, that is a no-go at this place because it is a no tobacco zone. So that was not good for them back then. They were warned. I believe they were fined, but they were basically told, don't do it again. They kind of let it slide. The NCAA did. This last year, they go back. They win it again in dominant fashion again. 2 of the players on Ferris State get the cigars back out, obviously not heeding the warnings of the year before. In addition to that, supposedly there were Ferris State branded like posters and banners that you have hung up for the championship that the players had torn down to keep for themselves as like memorabilia or to remember the game. So that is where they went wrong. And now head coach Tony Annese is paying for it. And so according to Josh Van Dyke of NLive.com, the NCAA announced that Annese will be suspended for 1 future playoff game following a, quote, rules violation. And that comes after the 41-14 win over Colorado School of Mines. Like I said, all about McKinney ISD Stadium. That is really what it was. And supposedly, I guess they just ignored these actions. Ferris State also received a fine after a couple of the players on the team attempted to remove the team's temporary wall stickers in their locker room after the title game to keep as souvenirs. The university has already applied for an appeal to Annese's suspension. I don't believe they appealed the fine, but they tried to appeal Annese's suspension, but that was immediately denied by the NCAA. And just initial reaction, I guess before we go to our reactions, I will first say, like, I am no, like, Tony Annese, like, big fan or anything like that, but I don't have, like, any crazy opinions on the guy, I don't think. But what I will say is him and his staff, immediately after these events happened at the championship game, addressed them immediately at the press conference following and held the guys accountable within their teams. They were trying to keep this in-house. They took care of what they thought was taking care of business, and they thought it was kind of over with.
So kind of just snuck up on them.
Reactions to the NCAA ruling, Twitter was aflame already, and it's been picked up by just about everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I guess I really didn't know the whole warning thing the year before. But, like, at the end of the day, like, it's a cigar. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, everyone does it. Literally every championship team you see on social media does it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a statement.
The viral video of Joe Burrow is the one that everyone thinks of. But even, like, Stetson Bennett had a ton of photos taken with him after the championship game for Georgia.
But, I mean, like, if they got warned, like, you know, it's not the NFL. And we're not playing in the SEC.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess that's, like, you got to listen. You know what I mean? Like, it was 2 guys out of how many?
Yeah. In a statement Thursday, Annese went on to say this, quote, I understand the concerns raised by the NCAA. Immediately after the game, while I was in a post-game press conference, the 2 issues cited by the NCAA were addressed by my coaching staff. He said, as a coaching staff, each day leading up to the national championship game, we had reminded our players that smoking cigars in celebration would not be allowed. My team was fully aware of the actions of these 2 players, that they were inappropriate, basically. That everyone knew this was not allowed. He went on to say that, just gave like the basic coach speak of we're going to address these concerns and continue to have a strong blah, 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 mindset, blah, 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 blah. And this was a statement from the Mountain East Conference Commissioner, Reed Amos. He says, quote, the inappropriate conduct associated with this action will not be tolerated at any NCAA Division II championship.
That's crazy.
So it is pretty crazy.
I mean, like I said, like they warned them. So like
he did, and so I have the fine numbers here as well. This is on ESPN's article. Ferris State was fined $2,500 by the NCAA. $2,500.
Wow, they're gonna go bankrupt.
I mean, come on. But They were charged $15,383 by McKinney ISD for cleaning and repairs to the locker room after the victory over Colorado School of Mines. $15,000. I read the $2,500. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. You won a national championship? I'd pay $2,500.
Right. Yeah.
$15,000 on the other hand.
So 17,000.
Yeah.
Altogether.
Almost 18,000. You add it all up. $15,000 to clean up a locker room. What the hell was going? There's a lot more than cigars going on in that locker room.
Yeah, I don't. That's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
That's actually wild.
That is crazy.
I did not know that. That's
no,
crazy.
that second number, the fact that that has been brought to light here as I read more and more and try and get a better sense of understanding of this situation, that's terrifying. I mean, as a member of a team, like, could you imagine if that ruling had been passed down to us? What's the over-under on how many gassers they are going to run after this ruling, or just like business as usual? I guess, I mean, I was going to say it's the actions of two guys. Yeah, I was going to say it's the action of two guys, but the locker room situation adds a whole nother realm to it, I think.